Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the May 1st mini healings. So I am already seeing some technical difficulties because I went in and said hello, and it looks like it posted on YouTube, but not Facebook. It won't let me post on Facebook. So that's a little irritating. And this happens every once in a while because my streaming service doesn't always work well with Facebook. So that's just a little frustrating. Luckily, most people find me on YouTube. But I'm going to just double check something else too. Because I've had some audio problems where sometimes people cannot hear me. So let me just see. So if you can hear me on YouTube, if you would just let me know. And it won't let me post to both, so I have to post only to YouTube. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, there's Amanda. Oh, good. So at least one platform is working. So if you would just hold on a moment, I just need to go to Facebook and say the platform isn't working and to come to YouTube, which is really too bad. So, but yeah, it says happening now, but it doesn't say I'm live. So I'm going to put problems with Facebook. Oh, Rudy. Do you guys hear Rudy in the background? Rudy's not doing so good. Honey, come here. All right, so let me just see. Let me get the link for, whenever I plan on having issues, I don't have issues, but when I don't plan, that's when so I'm going to put connect on YouTube. Okay, almost ready. Okay. All right. So, welcome to May 1st. So, not the best day, the best week. Rudy has taken a big downward turn, but he's almost 17. He's having trouble walking, has quit eating. No matter what I fix him. So he's just not having a good time. I think he's sort of ready to go, which makes me super sad. Anyways, it is 10 after. So let's start with our first healing pulse. So with this, if you are new to Healing by Summer and healing pulses, so the wonderful thing about a healing pulse is it goes to where we direct the energy to go. And so I want you to think about where you want to receive the energy, because it does very well when you direct it. And if you are feeling something that you want to deal with strong emotions, think about where you are feeling those strong emotions. So I want you to rub your hands together and place it exactly where you want to receive the energy. I'm just checking Rudy's. Come here, baby. Oh, come here. Let me just grab him. He's a little wobbly and he's on the edge of something. So let me be right back. And look at my pile of materials there. All right, Rudy, come here. Come here, baby. Duncan and Dexter. There you go. All right. Come on, Rooter. Okay. Rudy's just going to hang out with us tonight. Come on, there you go. That will make him better. So this way he can get some energy too. All right, so where were we? We'll rub your hands together. Place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. Just be open and allowing. Imagine my hands on yours. And the most important part is that you allow the energy to flow. So I've got Rudy on my lap. Dexter's right over here under a blanket. And Duncan is looking for something. So, but the nice thing is with them being so close, the whole room is full of energy. So not only do you benefit, but they benefit too. So just allow that energy to flow. Just breathe it in. Breathe it in. Okay, that was Healing Pulse number 1. Let me see where I put. Oh, it's over here. My little book. So, would you believe today is show number 174, and I was just looking. I started doing mini healings May 7th, 2020. That was my very first show. And then I did weekly shows until 2023. And then I switched from weekly to monthly. And now, a couple months ago, I have started doing bi-monthly. Or no. Yeah, bi-month. So twice a month instead of once a month. So I've got my little book here. So who knows what they want to work on? Let me know. And I will put it in the book and we will get started. Oh, there's Anne. All right, so Anne's first on the list. Tired. Low energy. After cold and antibiotics. Amanda. I'm going to see typically one or the other, but if it stays quiet, maybe. will at least remove one of those. Fear, worry, move. Okay. Angel Knight. Dealing with anxiety, stress. Sometimes when I work on anxiety, stress goes too, but we'll see. RS Fitness. Blocking from ability to lose weight. Okay. And then Jeffrey. Tummy stuff. Okay. All right, so Anne goes first. So I think I'm going to use my negative emotion chart. Let's see what comes up for Anne. So with these, basically I'm working with trapped emotions, but just know for some of you, it might be more than trapped emotions, but we'll do our part by seeing if there's anything related trapped emotion-wise. So I'm getting Anne, there is something trapped emotion-wise that we can release. So I'm just checking to see if it's related to both your symptoms or just one. Okay, this is related to the low energy. Let's see what that is. All right, so hold on. One of my regulars is having some trouble finding us on Facebook. So I'm telling her there is a Facebook glitch. That's so annoying. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I've got to get an age for Anne. So I'm getting the energy of undesirable Anne, and this is around age 28. So 27, 28, 29, and this is connected to that low energy, although there is more than this. So let's go ahead and release that. And so, as always, if you do have healing in your background, if you could help me release and remove the trapped emotion. If you don't have healing in your background, but you know how to pray or, talk to God or whoever you believe in, just say a little prayer and allow that to clear, and that'll help. So releasing and removing undesirable for Anne. Okay, so that released. All right. So we're gonna have my friend Anne Marie. She's having trouble commenting on YouTube, but she's gonna watch at least. Super, thank you, Anne. All right, so releasing and removing. All right, so Anne, I'm getting that did release. All right, so we're just gonna add Anne Marie to the list. She wants to work on energy, so it must be something with the ands that need some energy. Okay, and then RS, 60 pounds, sprained her back a couple months ago, having a hard time focusing back on healthy eating. So, RS, I wonder if you should focus on healing your back. Because it's not 100% healed, and so it's distracting you from other things. All right, hold on here. I've got Duncan thinking he can climb up on Rudy, which would be a bad thing. Come on, Duncan. Okay, so we will work on that when we get to RS. So Amanda wants to work on removing fear, worry. Typically, we would treat them as separate. So let's see what we're going to work on. So we're going to work on worry. Let's see how many instances of worry. Oh my gosh, Duncan. Okay, so Duncan's going to make an appearance. So we're doing a show the end of May with Duncan. Duncan's had a couple. We've had a couple 2 healing shows focusing on Duncan's eyesight because he has very little eyesight left and he's only like 5. So it's pretty horrible. All right, so going back. So let me just see how many times Amanda has worry that we can remove. And oftentimes there are instances of the emotion that you're not able to remove. Sometimes it's because you're not ready to let it go. Other times it's because there are other things that need to go before. And these layers are not necessarily in chronological order. So let me just see how many we can deal with. Also, there are often layers that are hidden or secret or covert or some mysterious thing that doesn't always just pop up. So normally the number that I get of how many you have is like the lowest possible number. And usually it's a lot more just because there's all sorts of ways of it hiding. So let's see. So does Anne have more than 5 trapped emotions of worry? Yes. More than 10? No. 9, 8, 7, 6. So, Amanda, you have 6 instances of worry. And so, if you could please assist me, that would be greatly appreciated. All right, so releasing and removing. Let me just check. Can we release them as a group of 6? Yes. Okay. It usually just takes a little longer. Okay, so let's see. Did all 6 release? No. And most likely because there's a few that are a little bit more stubborn than others. So let's see. So we've got 1 through 6. So let's just see which ones released. Did 1 release? No. 2, yes. 3, yes. 4, yes. 5, yes. 6, yes. So number 1 layer with worry did not release. So we're going to focus specifically on that, and usually it will go right away. Or every once in a while, we just need to find something that's holding it in. Did that release? Yes. So that did release. So I'm hoping that helps, Amanda, bring your worries down to more of a neutral level so that the first thing you don't do is worry. All right, Angel Knight, dealing with anxiety and stress. So I'm going to see, we're going to focus for you on a trapped emotion that is contributing to that. So let's see what that would be. And it's the word stingy. Let me get an age and we'll see if this rings a bell. Getting around age 28. So sometimes when I work on someone, sometimes I just get a feeling it's not necessarily describing them. And so Angel Knight, I get this word, stingy. But then I, for some reason, I just asked for you, is this yours? And I get no. And so what this tells me is when you were 28, someone close to you was pretty stingy and they were close enough that their stinginess affected you. And it's still affecting you today from back then. So let's go ahead and release that. So if you would help me with that, that would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so I did get that to release. All right, so we're going to do RS, and then we'll do the second healing pulse. And then we'll come back and work on Jeffrey and Anne Marie. So, all right, so, and with RS, we're going to work and see if there's anything about that back injury. So let's see. So I do get there's more to the back injury. And is it still injured? No. But there's some type of residual, something going on. So let's see. So I'm getting there's a trapped emotion that's playing a role with that. So let's see if we can get your back issue to be better. Because the timing of that, I think that's really affecting your weight loss. So let's see. Okay. Melancholy. So let me get an age for RS for melancholy. '21. So 20, 21, 22, somewhere in there. So let's go ahead and release that. So if RS, if you want to help with that. And I am getting that released. I suggest doing a bit of stretching and see if your back feels a little different. So I'm hoping it does. So we're going to do our next healing pulse, and then we're going to come back and do Jeffrey and Anne Marie. And if anyone else comes in or hasn't posted and you want to post, feel free to do that when we get back. All right, so healing pulse number 2. Most people that do multiples, welcome, Tiffany. We're going to do what's called a healing pulse. So I want you to try this and see if that helps you. So the healing pulse energy goes directly to where you want it to go. So Tiffany has back issues. RS has some back issues. So with the back or some other places, you're not always able to reach it because, I always ask, put your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. But with your back, sometimes it's a little bit more complicated. And so with that instance, or say you're having trouble bending and you've got a foot issue, if you can imagine your hands there, that works very well. So if there's that place sort of in the middle of your back and between your shoulder blades that you really can't reach, especially with both hands, then I want you to just imagine that you've got both hands at this particular location. And then imagine my hands are on yours. And most importantly, I want you to just be open and allowing. So with each breath in, you are breathing in healing energy. With each breath out, you are releasing energy that doesn't belong, might not even be yours. So breathing in, the healing, breathing out, you're releasing. And so just breathe in as deep as you can and breathe out as deep as you can. And if you are a fan of breath work, I suggest the box breath because that's pretty basic. So just focus on the breathing and the allowing. Okay, so that was healing number 2. So normally if people feel things, it's often the healing pulse number 2 or 3. Although I do admit, like traditional medicine, not everything works on everyone. But if you're open, you're more likely to experience it. All right, Jeffrey, you're next. So Jeffrey's got some tummy stuff going on. So let's see if we can reduce that a bit. Unimportant. Let's see where this came from. 7, Jeffrey. So somewhere like 6, 7, 8. So you were just a little guy, but something happened that you just didn't feel very important. So we're going to just imagine that it's letting go and that's no longer part of your story. So releasing and removing unimportant from Jeffrey. Did that release? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to just check because Anne-Marie was trying to get to us on Facebook. Just going to see if she got through to YouTube. All right, so this is for Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie wants to work on energy. So let's see what comes up for her. So Tiffany's got a few things. Especially when we're busy, we mainly just do one, but tonight's a little slow, which is okay. So I'm going to write down, well, for all of you, I've written anyone who put more than one. I've written it down and we can go back. Okay. So with Anne Marie, low energy. Unfulfilled. So we're going to look and see what age that was. So I'm getting like age 45. So hopefully Anne Marie's listening because she said it won't let her chat. So I think is that generally a subscription thing for YouTube? Because I don't recall. I'm on YouTube a lot, and I pretty much comment on different things, but haven't had that issue. So I don't know if that's. I'll have to see if that's one of the settings that I have that maybe I need to take out. Unfulfilled. Okay, so releasing and removing unfulfilled for Anne Marie. And Angel Night with Jeffrey, you could also help him release that too. Yes, RS. We can do a good luck, bad luck button. I'm trying to think when. I'm gonna look and see when the last time we did that April 1st. So I think that's a good once a month kind of thing. All right, so going next to Tiffany. Tiffany had a few things she wanted to work on, but let's see what the most important one is. Getting anxiety. So let's see if there's a trapped emotion that is playing a role. And I do get yes. And it's the energy of repulsive. And so this could be repulsive with many different things. Let me get an age and maybe this will make sense to you, Tiffany. I'm 23. So somewhere 22, 23, 24. That reminds me of, I have a little niece. Her mom has not taught her filters about being nice. So I had made something for a family like picnic. And the thing that I made, she came back and told everybody it was so disgusting. She's like 7. So it wasn't very appreciative. She was totally repulsed by my dessert that I brought. It was a little disappointing. So, all right, so I'm going to release and remove repulsive for Tiffany. Okay, that did release. So there are enough of you that have listed multiple things, and it's fairly early yet. So we'll do another round for people that are still here because I know a few people have dropped off. So like if Anne and Amanda and Angel Knight are still visiting, let me know. Angel Night, I've got dealing with stress. If we should do another round on that. So with Anne, you had listed tired and low energy, so we'd focus on the tired for this next round. Amanda, we would focus on the fear. And then RS. Okay, so Amanda's still here. All right, so I'm going to just keep track of who's still here. So Amanda. And then Anne Marie, if you're still listening, should we do another layer of the increasing your energy? Or is there something else you want to work on? So Amanda, we're going to see how many times you've got fear as a trapped emotion. And Angel Knight, still here. So I'm assuming Jeffrey's still here too. And then RS is still here. Okay, so. And Anne is still here. All right, so Anne, we're going to work on tired. And then Amanda, we're going to work on fear. And then Angel Knight, if you're okay with it, we will do another layer of releasing stress. All right, so going back to the top of the list, so I've got Anne and tired. So let's see. So Anne, I'm getting misused. Let me get an age for that. 16. So 15, 16, 17. Misused. And those teenage years, sometimes they can be pretty horrible with lots of drama and trauma. So let's go ahead and release the energy around the event of misused. So I think we've got at least one new person, and I talk about trapped emotions. But I do wonder, does everyone sort of understand the basic premise of trapped emotions? Because I could sort of go into the whys of why this is a thing. And so if you'd want me to do an explanation, let me know. Just put like a yes in the comments. Otherwise, we'll just keep moving. All right, so Anne released misused related to has a connection of being tired. All right, so Amanda, we're going to work on fear. You want to know how many layers of fear you have. Not too bad, Amanda, like 3 times. But as I said earlier, typically this is like the minimum. And so 3 times is obvious, but there are other layers. Okay, so once we get through this, I'll talk more about trapped emotions and why this is a thing. And I think I even have my book that sort of got me started. I worked at a retreat this last weekend, and the theme of the retreat was emotional trauma. So I did private healing sessions on like 8 of their participants. It was pretty exciting. But I'll find my book because that's how I got started with that. All right, so Amanda, help me release 3 layers of fear. Okay, so that released. All right, so Angel Knight, we're going to release another layer of stress. And so let's see if there's because I'm getting there's a trapped emotion related to that. For Angel Knight. And I'm getting it's the word stubborn. Angel Knight. So let's see about what age, and maybe you can think up or have a memory of some type of event that you dug your heels in and it was wasn't the best thing to dig your heels in with. So let's see what age you were. You were like 9. So 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there, you were just stubborn. But there's a piece of that has affected you in not a positive way. So we're going to release and remove that. And then Jeffrey's got tummy troubles. And Duncan is stepping on Dexter. Your little puppy growls. All right. So next, we're going to work on RS. Let me just see. All right, so RS, I want to do another layer for RS on your back. Okay. All right. And then when RS is done, I'll do Jeffrey and Anne Marie. But I think we'll do our third healing pulse before Jeffrey, right before Jeffrey. All right, so. It's the word restricted for Jeffrey. Let me get an age for him. Getting like around age 12. So 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there. So releasing and removing restricted. Actually, we're just going to push through this and then we'll do the emotion code explanation and then we'll do the third healing pulse. All right, so RS, we want to work on the back. Let's see what comes after that. Demoralized RS. Let me get an age. .26, so it's like 25, 26, 27. So is there an event that related to that? I'm getting that did release. I'm going to check on Anne Marie. So Anne Marie usually does. All right, so Anne Marie, we're doing another layer for your work energy, work on the energy. So let's see. Despondent. Let's see what age she was. Like age 36, so somewhere 35, 36, 37 for Anne Marie. So releasing that. So Anne Marie, if you would assist in that release. Okay, so that did release. All right, so let's do our third healing pulse. So I'm looking at the issues that people are working on. So we've got a couple people with back issues, a couple people with low type of energy or anxiety. Got one person with tummy issues, stress, fear, and worry. So especially when you've got things that are emotional, like Amanda, your fear or worry, does that live in a certain location within you? Think about it. So if you're dealing with anxiety, where does that live? So, like for me, when I'm super anxious, it's in the pit of my stomach. And so that's where you'll want to send the energy. All right, so let's go ahead and rub your hands together. Place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. And just allow the energy to flow. With each breath in, you are breathing in a little deeper, a little further, allowing the healing to go. Okay, so that was Healing Pulse number 2, or excuse me, number 3. Let me find a bit too many books around, so let's see what I've got up here. No, these are not the right color. This is a new one I just got, The Power of 8, and it talks about healing happening in groups of 8. So I haven't really started it yet, but the online healing type of thing, I'm sort of fascinated by it. So, I think, is that the right book? No. Okay. Well, shoot, so I don't have it. So, there is a book called The Emotion Code. It was on the New York Times bestseller list for quite a long time. It is written by Dr. Bradley Nelson, who is and was a chiropractor out in Utah. And he wondered why some of his clients needed an adjustment week after week after week. And some of his clients, maybe they'd do one adjustment or two, and the adjustment would stick. And they wouldn't have to come back for that exact same adjustment. And so he, questioned why. You are very welcome, RS. So I'm hoping that helps your back fully heal even the residual part of it, and you can get back to the way you were eating when you were losing weight. Sorry, it was like a squirrel came across. So he wondered why. And at some point, he realized that emotions play a huge part in his adjustments, because if someone feels an emotion and hangs on to that energy, oftentimes due to a traumatic event, that emotion is somewhere in the body. And especially if he needs to make an adjustment where that emotion is held, that will cause the adjustment not to stay. Because normally, when you feel an emotion, your body will process and release it. But sometimes, due to maybe it's a traumatic event, or maybe who knows why, you hang on to that energy of that emotion. And so not only do you have trouble getting chiropractic adjustments, but that part of your body does not function as good as it should. And so with that, when you release a trapped emotion, it allows that part of your body to almost do some self-healing. And so that's why oftentimes if I have someone come and see me, or even most of my sessions are actually through Zoom, and we release a trapped emotion, especially if they're dealing with pain or other issues that are quite serious, usually after we release one or two items, I'll have them take a little walk around the room and see if things are looser, because that's often what happens when a trapped emotion releases, is things aren't so tight. because there is just that part of the body can do what it's supposed to do. And I think I do see, of course I see the book, but I'd have to move Rudy. I'm not going to move Rudy. So anyways, so that was, so the emotion code was a modality I learned 2010, and then I got certified in it a while later, just because I wasn't sure if I wanted to commit to being certified, because I don't always believe certification is necessary. So I'm certified in the emotion code. But since then, when I learn something or find cool charts like this, I learn things the best I can and then tweak them to be most effective. So I'm getting my book back because we're going to do good luck, bad luck. I also wanted to say, so this month I'm doing 2 mini healing sessions that are free and live. And the next one will be, because I'm decided to do one of the middle Sundays. And so the next one will be May 11th at 7 p.m. Central Time. And then the Duncan healing session number 3 for Duncan, we're going to do May 27th. That's a Tuesday. That's going to be 7 p.m. Central Time. And then if you are interested, I am teaching Usui Holy Fire Reiki 1 and 2. And that is going to be online. And it's going to be July 12th through the 13th. That there is a cost of $430. And it's typically 2 full days that will be online. All right, so who wants to do good luck, bad luck? And so with this, if you want to just put a 1 in the comments, and Anne-Marie, if you want to just text me a 1 in the comments if you are still listening. So we'll do good luck, bad luck. So the premise of this is, if you have good luck, your good luck button should be on. And with bad luck, you always want the bad luck turned off. All right, so I'm going to just start at the top here. So Tiffany, RS, Amanda, Angel Knight, Anne. Check my phone for Anne-Marie. Okay. So I'm going to add Anne-Marie. And I'll add Jeffrey. I'll make sure I didn't miss anyone, because sometimes I do that. Okay. So I've got 7. Okay, so let's see. Just got to get my little paper ready, because then I just circle. And so if you have done your good luck, bad luck with me the last few months, and if you switch, I would suggest a regular healing session to find out why you can't maintain the right alignment for good and bad luck. All right, so starting at the top. So I'm going to start with the good luck. So with good luck, we want your button turned on. So I'm going to just go down the line and say, so Tiffany, good luck. Yes. RS, good luck, yes. Amanda, good luck, yes. Angel Knight, good luck, yes. Anne, good luck, yes. Anne Marie, good luck. No. Okay, so Anne Marie, we need to flip her button on. All right, Jeffrey, is Jeffrey's good luck button on? No. What about Mia? Yes. Okay, so we've got two that we need to switch on. Okay, good. So we need to switch on Anne Marie and Jeffrey. So let's check the bad luck, and then I'll work on getting everyone switched if they need to be switched. So with bad luck, you want your bad luck turned off. So Tiffany, is Tiffany's bad luck button turned off? RS, off. Amanda, off. Angel Knight, off. Anne, off. Yes. So all these are yes so far. Anne Marie, off. Oh, Anne Marie, you are totally flip-flopped. Jeffrey's bad luck button off? No, Jeffrey's flip-flopped too. What about Mia? Is Mia's bad luck off? No. So an example of what can happen when your good luck button's on, but your bad luck button's on too. So like for me personally, if things are pretty much going my way and then something bad happens, but it's not as bad as it could have been. So I give this example all the time. So if you've heard this a million times, I'm sorry, but it's really an excellent example. So I live in northern Minnesota. It is horrible with snow and weather. And so it was March a few years ago. My driveway, it had snowed, but it was March. So it was like super slushy. I have a blacktop driveway. And so I was shoveling and I fell. And I've lived here all my life. I've always fallen on my butt. It's just how it goes. But this time, I fell face first on blacktop. And right before my face hit the blacktop, something turned my face. And so even though I hit really hard, it was the side of my face. Otherwise, I think we would have called an ambulance because it would have been my nose, my teeth. So I really feel like I had good luck that day because the main thing that happened is I had a bruise along the side of my face. I was super sore. So, and when I checked later, my good luck button was on, but so was my bad luck button. So if that makes sense to you. So we're going to flip on Anne Marie and Jeffrey's good luck button. So switching Anne Marie on, switching Jeffrey good luck on. So let's see. And then when we do finish with this, we'll be doing aura strengthening. All right, so now is Anne Marie, is her good luck button switched on? So I do get yes. And then Jeffrey's good luck button switched on? Yes. Good. All right, so now we're going to turn off the bad luck. So Anne Marie, we want to turn off her bad luck. And Jeffrey, we want to turn off the bad luck. Yes, Tiffany. So Mia, her good luck button was on, which is what you want. You want the good luck on, but her bad luck button was also on. So it's sort of like they compete. And so having your bad luck button on really lessens your good luck, but it'd be so much worse if you didn't have good luck at all. So we're going to turn on, or excuse me, we're turning off the bad luck button. It's a little confusing. Okay, so going back to check. So is Anne Marie's bad luck button turned off? That could be it. Although even little kids can have trapped emotions too. So that's something that next time you could ask her, just say she's extra sensitive or she's really, cries a lot, and just see if there's anything contributing towards that. All right, so Anne Marie and Jeffrey, your bad luck buttons are off. Is Mia's her bad luck button off now too? Okay. All right, so everybody is flipped the way they should be. Super. So let's do aura strengthening unless anyone has any questions. So the wonderful thing about aura strengthening is it helps repel negativity. And so getting used to working with energy and having a strong aura can really help, because some people just feel it is their mission in life to be nasty. It seems like lately people are just not as nice as they used to be. So with this, and you did use some energies when we did the healing pulse, but I also want you to get used to using your own energies. But if you just don't feel comfortable, you can feel free to use the healing pulse energies with this. Part of it is you're going to start out the same by doing this. And so if you only want to use your energies and just practice with your energies, that is fine. You just have the intention that you're going to use your energies. If you want to use the healing pulse energies, that's where you're going to call in the healing pulse energies along with your frequencies. And so then I want you to just start beaming. And so imagine the wall of your aura. And most people have pretty big auras, but I don't want to stretch my arms way out there. I'm okay with just sending energy here. And so just sending the healing frequencies to your aura, imagining that it's getting stronger and more protective. But something else that's sort of nice is, so with the aura, I imagine a bubble all the way around, even over my head, below my feet. But then I also think, what do I need today? So like right now with little Rudy and him having some health issues at his end of life, I need some courage. So to just help him the best I can. So I think that's what I want to fill up my bubble. So think about, what do you need today? What are you going to fill up your bubble with? So just release. And with that aura, sometimes it's nice to put in, some reflectivity, but be careful. You don't want to do like a full mirror sheet, because you want people to see you at least a little bit, especially as you're driving, as you're walking. You don't want people or things to run into you. And so that's why it's good to have more of a hint of reflectivity than total reflectivity. All right, so just breathing in and out. Okay, so that was the May Day mini healing, and I hope you had a good time, and I hope you experienced some good healing too. So if you are interested in a session with me, but you're not quite sure what to expect, or you have questions, there is a free consultation that you can book through YouTube. And my website is right on the lower part of the screen, csummerjones.com. If you decide you do want to book a healing session, current rates are $150 and it's for 75 minutes. We typically work on 3 specific issues. Some of the tools that we use tonight, we would use during that session, but we also use a lot more things that take more time. The sessions that I use on mini healings, or the tools, are things that can be very quick, and I could work on as many people as show up typically. So I also do past life regression, QHHT, and BQH. So if you have an interest in that, let me know. But I'm glad everyone was here, and I hope everyone has a fabulous May. But have a good evening. Good night.